The following announcement is paid for by the Wrestling with Nerds.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hey there, the name's Nukem, Duke Nukem, and you're watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. For some unknown reason, enjoy.
This honky tonk man, greatest intercontinental champion of all time, and you're watching Wrestling with Nerds podcast. Yes, that's my favorite. Shake, rattle, and roll.
And what's going on, wrestling nerds? And welcome to this week's episode of the Wrestling with Nerds podcast. We'll be talking about last night's Saturday night main event, and then next week's Royal Rumble, and also our GM mode is going to get a little fun, because we're going to list our 10 male, 10 female superstars that are entering from each and our brands. We'll have that to you live next Sunday as well. We'll actually have the Royal Rumbles played out while we're talking about it. So, with that said, hi Ryan.
Yellow.
Yellow?
Yellow.
Sorry for your loss today.
That's alright.
It's a hell of a season.
I'll be there again.
And then the other one and only, it's TJ Barnier.
What's up, buddy? I literally haven't heard you the last 5 minutes, but I got you now. Good timing. What's happening?
Is that what you were trying to figure out and weren't messaging back to us?
Messaging?
Yeah, it's okay. We weren't texting you anyway.
Oh, okay. No, I was fixing something else you needed for later, actually. But I'm like, why are they not talking? And then I look and I'm like, their mouths are moving, but no sounds coming out. And then everybody was muted in Discord. And I went, oh.
It's literally the same thing every week. I don't know why. You think your settings would just stay the exact same.
Well, I'm on these, which are attached to this that I'm not normally on.
I'm guessing something broke.
I had to. No, I just had to. It's hooked up when we've been playing GTA so much.
Oh, so let's start off with last night's Saturday night's main event from San Antonio, Texas, the Frost Bank Center. Only 4 matches on the card. They had 5 segments on the card. Who wants to go first? Because they started off with Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. Rhea Ripley retains her women's WWE World Championship in about 9.5 minutes. I thought it was an okay match. I didn't mind it at all. I'm starting to like Nia more and more. I feel like she's getting into herself more as a big woman. But
Can you say that on stream?
I think so. I was giving her flowers.
I was just checking. Big girl.
And Rhea Ripley's Rhea Ripley.
I mean Rhea Bloody Ripley?
Yes. I enjoyed the match. Wasn't one of their bests, but it was good. Ryan?
I don't disagree. I enjoyed it. I like seeing Rhea kind of be the undersized person in her match, because she's usually so much taller and bigger than the other ones that she's in the ring with. So that was kind of a thing. They have built Nia to be the beatable giant in the women's division, so to speak. She only has to do the splashes in the corner and do power moves.
Can I say
To,
this without getting canceled? I think she's the female Yokozuna.
well, I mean, that's kind of a compliment considering as Yoko was as big as he was faster than half of the guys on the roster, and was way better wrestler than most on the roster. So
I can say that without getting canceled.
I wouldn't exactly say she's the Yoko of it, but she definitely has the giant role of the female division. Um, and she fits that role well. She makes it that when you're watching matches she's in, you don't really know if she's gonna be if she's just gonna be the one that gets the pin, or if she's gonna pull off the upset and walk out with the title. On any given night, it can easily happen either way with Nia. Rhea, I'm kind of curious to see where this road to WrestleMania leads for Rhea. Um, I don't see anybody, and I have a hankering feeling that WrestleMania for Rhea Ripley will be a match for her. How to put this? For her Women's World Championship, but it may not just be women in the match, if that makes sense. I honestly think her WrestleMania match is going to be her against Dom for the Women's World Championship. Whether what are you playing? What are you playing?
The Queen.
I'm pretty sure the Queen's going to be on SmackDown dealing with Tiffy. That makes the most sense.
But if Charlotte wins the Rumble, she can go after whoever.
She can go after whoever, but I'm pretty sure the lineup is for her to go for Tiffany in the WWE Championship, because she's gonna be. I believe she's gonna be on the SmackDown roster. But I think Rhea's match has been set up all along through this whole entire story that we've watched all year long. I somehow see it being her against Dom with possibly the women's world title on the line for Liv. Could play a factor into that somehow, whether it's a Dom and Liv versus Rhea handicap match for the Women's World Championship. I could possibly see that happening. Or if I've been right all along, which I think I've been right all along,
I hate you.
we could possibly see a mixed tag team match at WrestleMania. Maybe not for the Women's World title, but we could rightfully see Rhea and her boy toy back together, and it's Rhea and Dom versus Finn and Liv in a mixed tag team match.
And winner takes the women's championship, maybe.
It could be, but I for some reason I don't see Rhea defending the world title in a normal match at WrestleMania.
Ladder match?
No, I meant just not a woman versus woman match.
Oh, okay.
For the women, there's gonna be something in it, or it's just gonna be the mixed tag match. The next matchup on.
Hold on, we didn't get TJ's input. Even though we know his input of the whole card, it just sucked for him.
I mean, it was a 9-minute match with Rhea and Nia. Okay. I'm not gonna have a lot to offer. I was not impressed with this whole card. None of it.
The second matchup was Braun Breaker and Sheamus for the Intercontinental title.
These guys can kick the shit out of each other all the
For
time.
11 and a half minutes.
For the billionth time.
It was a solid match for what it was. I mean, these two guys.
How about that spear with Sheamus coming off the ring steps?
The ring steps. It builds the Braun Breaker character when he can beat Sheamus clean.
It felt sloppy late for me.
The finish I didn't mind at all. I thought the finish of the match was
it seemed like Braun wasn't ready for when Sheamus went to kick him and his ribs gave out. That seemed mistimed. and it was kind of awkward for me. That was what I noticed.
I think it's just storytelling.
I mean,
Well, no, I mean, like,
Yeah.
Sheamus goes up to kick him and he grabs his ribs, and they're like, his ribs gave out. Pause. Braun Breaker hits him.
okay.
Like, it wasn't. Something was off there, and it looked really weird. Like, Sheamus basically, like, was waiting, like, you're supposed to have hit me already.
Either way, I don't see anything wrong with it. Sheamus hurt his ribs. Braun reacted to it, hit the spears. Great win for Braun. The shakeup, the superstar shakeup that's going on. I kind of wish some of that mid card on both shows would kind of flip flop, just to kind of mix it up a little bit because
We just heard A-Town Down Under is going to Raw.
yeah, but
Miz to
I'm
SmackDown.
so tired of the A Town Down split tease that's been going on. It just needs to happen already because nobody cares about that tag team at all.
Yeah.
So if they're going to go to Raw, great, but the split needs to happen. I was kind of looking forward to more of the upper mid card guys swapping some spots back and forth. You know, possibly like Andrade going to Raw.
I mean,
Um,
Damien went to SmackDown.
Damien's more on that upper level. Is not. I wouldn't consider him
He's
mid
main
card.
event talent.
He's bottom main event talent at this point. Which is fine. Moving him to SmackDown is fine, and he can drop down into that U.S. title picture if he
Yeah.
needs to. But I feel like we needed. I would have liked to see LA Knight make the jump from SmackDown to Raw. I feel like LA Knight has that microphone ability. Braun Breaker
Not over
versus,
yet, right? The window?
I don't know if it's over yet or not, but I don't.
They'll
I just
extend
don't
it as
see
long as they want to.
But I kind of feel like that. As LA Knight, to me, the Bloodline story, it's all to get Jacob Fatu over, really more than anything else. Like there's nobody in the seeable future that's going to match up against Jacob Fatu that everybody's going to go, that guy's got a chance to win the match. No, they're building Jacob Fatu
To
up
kill everybody.
to kill everybody. Look what he did to Braun here later this night.
I loved it.
I wish LA Knight would make the jump to Raw. I would love to see LA Knight versus Braun Breaker. Personal reasons or whatnot. I love both talents. They're both over, and the microphone back and forth between the two of them would be absolutely amazing. And if anything, that's kind of what Raw has missed since moving to Netflix. I don't know what it is for me, but Raw moving to Netflix has lost its total TV show appeal to me, and it's missing. I don't know if it's so much that or like I don't know what it is, but it's missing something for me. So to see like them two go back and forth would be pretty amazing. But yeah, Braun gets the win. Braun moves on with the Intercontinental title. It'll be interesting to see where that goes from here.
How about match number 3 with the absolute annihilation of Braun Strowman?
And any of his credibility.
I mean, I don't know about his
why does it hurt his
credibility.
Why does it hurt his credibility? That makes no sense. It's Jacob freaking Fatu.
Was he not just a month ago in a match for the Monster versus the Monster, where he beat Bronson Reed, and now that monster is cut down by Jacob Fatu in one match
Because
and
it's
made to
Jacob
look weak.
Fatu.
Yeah, it's
But
the
he's-
build. It doesn't kill Braun's credibility. It just proves how big of a massive personality and overship that Jacob has.
And even then, though, but why stop the match? I don't. I mean, I know he threw the ref, but like they were playing it up like he was enduring too much. I mean, this honestly reminded me of the Seth Rollins the Fiend match where he's hitting him in the head with the toolbox. Wave off the match. It's too much. Like, let him fight. Let there be a winner.
Because it's a match and it had rules, and throwing the referee is a DQ.
Right, but I mean, even the ref got in his face because he was doing too many of the butt things into the corner on him.
Okay, you still can't put your hands on the referee. So him throwing the referee shows how unhinged he is, but how dominating and destructive he can be.
My
Then
point
what
was,
he
why
does-
was the ref even getting involved? He wasn't doing anything illegal, and the ref's like, "Hey, stop doing what's not illegal."
Because he had to check to see if he was okay. By then he had blood coming out of his mouth.
I don't know. It just it let him fight. Let there be a winner.
Jacob Fatu did exactly what I wanted to see Jacob Fatu do and kill everybody.
I mean, that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be that they're gonna build Jacob up the way that they're doing, and I mean, I'll give him 100%, or 100 as they say, because that's what he said in his promo. The promo walking to the ring was amazing.
I like that he does that.
His promo walking to the ring was absolutely amazing. One, for him to say all of the dialect that he said and not drop one cuss word when is more amazing. But I mean, he literally told Braun Strowman what he was going to do to him coming to the ring. Like, you haven't faced anybody like me before. You're about to see what it's like. And I mean, to be honest, Braun Strowman hasn't been the same since he got released from Vince a couple years ago when Vince didn't know what to do with him anymore. So, what better to do the same thing that everybody did to him when he came into the business? Everybody got him over by letting him destroy them. It's the same thing that Jacob did to Braun last night. Does it ruin Braun Strowman's credibility as the monster among men? Absolutely not. Does it make Jacob Fatu look unstoppable? Absolutely. To get him to the main event level that they want him at, he has to destroy people. So
I don't
why not
think
destroy the biggest monster? Why not destroy the biggest monster in the locker room? It makes perfect sense to me.
not always losing a match loses your I'll say it again, credibility.
No.
But I mean, he's at the end of the match. He's lying in the ring, bloodied.
Okay.
And I mean, is it coming out of his nose? Is it coming out of his mouth? Like, he looked he looked weak. He looked not monster.
Because it's not about Braun Strowman. It's about Jacob Fatu. All Braun Strowman's doing is repaying the favor that was given to him when he was getting built up to be unstoppable.
Let me ask it to you this way. Where do you see Braun Strowman next?
The same spot he's been at. Have you seen Braun Strowman at any level of being a main event guy since he can't make his returns?
I mean, a month ago, he was supposed to be this Bronson Reed killer who was murdering everybody else. Like,
he beat Bronson Reed and he went off TV because he tore his groin. That's all that happened. And then he got moved to SmackDown.
And then got made to look, in my opinion, weak.
What's more weaker, losing to Jacob Fatu the way he did, or that the fact that 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or whatever many weeks ago it was, because he's been sick with the flu, that many weeks ago when he got beat in the middle of the ring by Carmelo? Which one makes him look more weaker, losing to the small guy or losing to the guy that they're building to be the next monster? Which one?
I mean, I think you're helping my point here. He's losing.
But
he's supposed to be this monster. He's not a monster.
He's not been in the main event picture since he made his fucking return. That's the point I'm making. So let him be the guy that can feed the bigger guys to get them to the main event level. Braun Strowman will never compete for a world title again. That's going to happen. He's the Big Show role now. Just like the Big Show was there for Braun Strowman when he started to build Braun Strowman up like a monster, is the exact same thing they're doing with him for Jacob Fatu. Plain and simple.
So he has no credibility, and he's a sideshow piece to be used to build people.
You keep saying credibility. What credibility did he lose? He's still a monster. He can still be a monster. It's just that Jacob is better than him. Just like he was better than Big Show when he showed up on the scenes. That's how it works. You don't lose your credibility by putting people over. In fact, I give you more credit for putting people over because it means you have less of an ego than everybody else.
I'm not talking like his in-ring ability credibility. I'm talking like it being believable that he is this monster. He doesn't look like a monster. He looks barely average.
He's still a monster. He's 6'4".
And
he got taken out by another monster.
Like Tarzan wrestles like Jane.
I I mean, it's not like he puts on 5-star matches every time he wrestles anyway. He's a giant. He knows what he's supposed to do. Not
I
to
mean,
mention
him and Bronson Reed tore the house down like a month ago.
Yeah.
And this
Bronson
was
Reed
not
is
that.
nowhere to be found, and Braun Strowman's nowhere to be found now
Bronson
either.
Reed had an extremely
Oh yeah, because fat
unfortunate
guys
accident.
shouldn't jump off of steel cages. That's the lesson to be learned there. But he did the job he's supposed to do. He got Jacob Fatu over to look like he's an unstoppable monster that can't be beat. Plain and simple. That way, when he gets up to the main level to face somebody, he's gonna look unstoppable until he gets beat.
We're just gonna see this different, and I
It's
don't
how
think
you
there's
build stars. I don't understand your concept of, oh, he got bloodied, he's no longer a monster.
Well, okay, but let me put it to you this way: who did Jacob Fatu really just beat? A guy on a losing streak who hasn't done anything, as you said, since he returned. Did he really beat a monster?
He's always gonna be a monster. That's the point. It doesn't matter if he's on a losing streak. He lost one match, then had the flu, then loses to Jacob. That's all he's lost. He beat Bronson Reed on Raw and moved to SmackDown. Plain and simple. Comes to SmackDown to become the monster, thinking he's going to be the monster among men over here. And haha, sorry to tell you this, but Jacob Fatu's here to tell you different. That's exactly what happened. Granted, we don't know what the writing is for later. Braun could be going away, come back later and beat him. I doubt it. I don't see it happening because now he's just a feeder to all the giants that are coming in. Omos is coming back. He's coming back for a real run now because he's actually learned how to wrestle. I'm gonna bet you this: Braun Strowman is gonna get fed to Omos. Plain and simple. It's what happens when you're old.
So does that mean John Cena's got no credibility for losing?
I mean, I guess so.
John Cena himself has said he has no credibility. What do I deserve a title shot for? I haven't won in 50 matches.
But that's not credibility. That's just a losing streak.
But he said
credibility. He didn't say credibility. He said he didn't deserve a match because he hasn't won anything. Still doesn't mean that he's a credible opponent. He's a 16-time former world champion.
Who felt his only way to deserving a world title shot was to win the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Because he didn't deserve it otherwise.
So since he's on his if he loses his credibility that way, is he no longer a 16-time former champion because he's been on a losing streak?
No, but I wouldn't think he would. He shouldn't challenge for the title again in the next year.
So he's still a credible 16-time world champion, right?
Yes, he is a former.
Strowman is a credible monster because he's beaten all the other monsters.
Don't even compare the Cena and Strowman. I mean, the resume isn't even remotely close.
I mean, I'm still trying to figure out what your definition of credibility is because, I mean, Braun Strowman's still the monster.
I can use Sheamus as an example. Why should Sheamus ever get another Intercontinental title match?
Because
he's lost like 6 this year.
Because he beats everybody else that's on the mid card to get the shot at the Intercontinental title like you're supposed to?
I mean, I think this next match ought to be win it or you never challenge for it again.
You got to have somebody that's going to step up and take that spot to challenge Braun Breaker. And right now, there isn't one.
It's kind of like saying the Bills should never go back to the Super Bowl because they lost 4 in a row.
I mean, they got that in their own hands to deal with, not me.
But
either way.
I mean, but that's also a teams change, AJ. That's not. It's not like a wrestler. A wrestler doesn't just redraft their team every year. A wrestler's a wrestler.
They can also still go through so many changes. But finally,
I mean, when Cody left WWE, what credibility did he have here? None. That's why he left. He went everywhere else and reproved who he was, built his credibility back up, came back as a main event star. And look where he is. He's carrying the company. That's what I'm talking about.
So if he goes on a losing streak...
time out. Time out. His credibility was built before he got to the WWE. So once he drops the WWE title, all credibility for Cody Rhodes goes away. According to what your line of Braun Strowman is, hey, you lose 2 matches, you lose credibility.
Braun hasn't lost 2 matches. Braun has beat Bronson Reed once, and he's lost to everybody else.
No, he didn't. He beat Carmelo
You said
Hayes.
it. You said he hasn't done anything since he returned.
all he's done is beat Carmelo Hayes once, lost to Carmelo Hayes. Then
Shouldn't
got
he be
a kick.
destroying
destroying Carmelo Hayes? Shouldn't he be
Exactly.
taking Carmelo Hayes and going, buh? No, he
You would
loses
think.
to him.
But
What kind of
yeah,
monster is that?
because the Giant, if you're a Giant, you should automatically be WWE champion forever.
I mean, did Andre the Giant lose to freaking tiny guys, little people? Bob Euchre, could he have beat him?
I mean, he
No.
lost to Hulk Hogan, who was lower than him. He lost to the Warrior,
Oh
who
yeah,
was smaller than
he
him.
lost to like the two biggest stars of
I mean,
those
you're-
like 5 year
I mean,
span.
You're talking statures now, so I mean,
I'm
if
saying,
you're-
would Bob
if you're-
Euchre have beat the Andre the Giant in a match?
if Andre wanted to. If Andre wanted to lose, Andre would have lost. Andre lost to Jake the Snake Roberts. There you go. There's a mid card guy. He lost to Jake the Snake Roberts in the middle of the ring.
Because he was afraid of the snake.
That
Mom
was
and
the
Dad
Royal
are
Rumble,
fighting
not their
again.
actually matches.
Still afraid of the snake.
Actually, technically, he was not afraid of the snake. It was all part of the story.
Well, obviously, I mean, this is a storyline business.
And the storyline is that Braun Strowman got his ass beat by the Samoan werewolf to prove that the werewolf is bigger than the monster.
All right, so we've spent 18 minutes on the third match.
Well, we had to get the clarification, a definition of what credibility you lose if you lose a match. That's it.
I mean, you ready? You want me to go to Gunther and Jay? Jay doesn't deserve another title shot ever.
Thank you.
Who is he beat?
I'll agree with
Who
you
is
on
he
that
beat?
one.
He
I'll
hasn't beat
agree.
anybody. He's
I'll
lost a
agree.
match, lost a match, lost a match.
Like
It's
I'm
the
listening to
same
Mike and Mad
thing.
Dog.
It is the same thing. Braun
I'll
Strowman
agree.
hasn't beat anybody.
I'll agree 100% with you on this one because once the entrance song's over with, Jey Uso sucks. How
Jey
about
Uso
that?
hasn't beat anybody. Doesn't deserve a title shot. Sheamus hasn't beat anybody. Doesn't deserve a title shot.
Sheamus beat Ludwig Kaiser and whoever else to get the match
Who?
for the Intercontinental title.
Gunther's lackey?
The guy that's better than Gunther on the microphone.
I don't care what have you done for me in the ring. I don't care if you can talk.
Well, for
Leave
you,
people that can talk.
when
Leo
it comes
Rush
to
can
you,
talk.
your standards are so goddamn high for you
Leo
in ring
Rush
quality.
can talk. Enzo Amore can talk. Where are they at?
I doubt. That's a hard take. If he's not high on cocaine, sure, he might be easy to talk to.
I'm just saying, they can talk in the ring. What did that get them?
I mean, Ludwig's matches are more entertaining than Gunther's.
But Gunther wins.
Well, I mean, this one I don't disagree. He should have won because, again, why is he facing Jey Uso? Because
why was that a main event match? I mean,
Jey Uso is all good until the bell rings, and then it's the Samoan version of the Young Bucks. Once Jay's match is
well,
started.
I mean, Jey Uso would be running AEW. He knows how to super kick.
But, I mean, I'll agree with you on this. I don't like Gunther's matches, how they're laid out the exact same way for everybody he faces. They're always, he's getting his ass kicked. They hit their finisher. They hit their second finish. They hit a signature, whatever else, and he kicks out. Magically, 2 power bombs later, the match is over. That's a little old. That part is annoying. That part's going to be whenever he finally drops the world title, it's going to be like, can we please never put the world heavyweight title on this guy again? Because it's not fun.
Been a champion for 4 years, and he's been boring all 4 years of it. The most interesting he got's when he lost to Sami Zayn.
And that's just because he was in Philadelphia and they wanted to do the Rocky storyline. All right. That was a great job for Saturday night's main event. Guys, the main reason for Saturday night's main
Hey,
event.
you didn't want to cover Kevin, Shawn Michaels, and
it's
Saturday
a
night's
contract
main event.
signing.
You guys can't figure it out. Saturday night's main event is not for us.
No, it's to get new
Not
eyes.
for you. It's not for you. It's to get people that normally tune in on the NBC to look at the product to say, oh, there could be some interest here of a different kind. Maybe not what you like. Maybe what you hated from the show. Might have piqued an interest for somebody that didn't like the show. And then hopefully they tune in for Royal Rumble this Saturday, and then they're off to the races. It's been the purpose of Saturday night's main event forever. They've always been right before big shows. Not to mention, I think AEW was doing one of their big collision shows last night on TNT, and it was probably a little fun to go a little old school on them. just like they used to do with WCW back in the day. They would run a Saturday night's main event while WCW was running Starrcade. People didn't buy the Starrcade pay-per-view because WWF was on TV for free.
It was nice seeing all the legends, and Jesse the
Turn,
Body again was amazing.
Turning it around, WCW would do Clash of Champions when the WWF was doing the Royal Rumble. It didn't pay off so well because people wanted to see the gimmick match of the Royal Rumble, so they would order the pay-per-view. Same thing.
I like your
Um,
segue, Ryan.
I do agree with you. Jesse's doing a very good job on the microphone.
The
Except
pomp and circumstance of the night is great. I love that part of it. It's just the matches are crap, in
the
my opinion.
Jesse's broadcast with McAfee was very fun. But like he totally botched the whole Braun Sheamus false pinfall finish. You know, like
The
he
foot
makes the
didn't get up in
comment. He makes the
time.
comment that the referee counted to 3 and never saw the foot till he saw the foot, and then they go back and show the replay, and
1, 2.
you
Oh,
clearly see the referee look up at the foot before he hits the mat for 3. It's kind of like
is that on production though? Like, should they not have shown? Like, no, get a better angle or don't show it at all.
I don't
Leave the
know.
story of it there.
It's Jesse trying to. Jesse probably didn't know that they were going to go right back to a replay, and it probably production probably shouldn't have went right back to a replay of it to let it go. But then again, that's Jesse being the heel commentator. To say that it happened when it didn't happen is not far out of the truth. I like that whether he's actually keeping up with the product or he's just getting fed a bunch of information in his headset, he is telling people how it used to be with things with the Intercontinental title and about how you earned a shot for the IC title and how it's the workers title and all that kind of stuff. I agree. I like that. The legends being there is a great little touch. Gabriel Iglesias, I know he's a millionaire, billionaire, whatever from his comedian stuff, but I've seen more of him on WWE programming in the last 3 weeks than I've seen of his comedy specials in the last 3 years.
Hey,
Well,
his
he's
comedy
plugging,
specials are good.
With them being on Raw, they're plugging that new Netflix special big time.
It's good.
Yeah, but he was on He was on the Netflix Raw. He's been on SmackDown.
Well, he's single now, dog. He's got money to spend.
He was on SmackDown. He was on Saturday Night's Main Event.
He said it on the Netflix special. They robbed him, but they didn't look under the mattress and find the money.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't hate it. I'm just seeing a lot of fluffy. I'm waiting for him to get involved.
How about McConaughey
Well,
the other night?
he ready to fight. I bet if you asked him tonight, he'd throw some punches.
All right.
All right, let's talk about this upcoming Saturday's February 1st in Indianapolis, Indiana. In Lucas
You
Oil
just said
Stadium.
Illinois. Oh my God.
In Lucas Oil Stadium, it is the 2025 Royal Rumble. I'm excited for this. It's by far my favorite pay-per-view all year. So you get the men's, the women's. You have Cody and Kevin in a ladder match for the undisputed WWE Championship.
Do you think that when this match is over, whoever wins will be referred to as the undisputed WWE Winged Eagle Champion?
I was gonna ask, what belt are they keeping?
Both are going to be up there. I'm hoping he pulls the Winged Eagle down.
Imagine he pulls both, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, this one's gonna be good. This is Kevin Owens' 8th or 9th Royal Rumble pay-per-view where he's challenged for a championship.
Jesus.
I mean, he's been on the main event with Roman twice. I think he's faced Seth once. He faced Dean for the IC title one year, and then was in the Rumble later on that night. So yeah, I think this makes a record of 9 championship matches for Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. And just like pretty much all the other ones, I think he's going to be unsuccessful. I see Cody winning this one easily.
Do you think they changed the belt?
No,
No.
no. Um,
You think Cody honors the agreement with Triple H and hands it over? That's what your gist of it is. He gets it back. Yes, it was one night only, and
yeah,
there you
because
go.
because at this point it's so far into his first title run, it's like
Why change it?
one, why change it, and two, why change it this close to possibly a big match where the WWE, let's change the belt for a month or 2 months, and then we're back to being what title we're using. That would kind of get them stuck into the whole John Cena spinner belt thing. That belt wasn't supposed to last as long as it did, but it
It
sold
just
so well as a toy that
It
they kept it.
lasted
it
7
connected
years.
with the audience.
It's the longest running WWE championship ever. It ran from
2005 to 2013.
yeah, it's the longest
That's 8
WWE
years.
championship version there has been.
I did think it's funny how they had to stud it so it stopped spinning.
Yeah, and it looked so weird on so many guys like Triple H. It looked weird. And they could have easily just brought back the other version of the WWE title at that point. I don't know why they didn't. But it was clever when the Miz had it that they flipped the W around and studded
Yeah.
it, so it was M. Um, but I don't know.
So fourth match of the evening, um, DIY Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. 2 out of 3 falls for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Boys, who do you think are winning this one?
DIY.
Uh, I I don't know. I could see this turning into like the Hart Foundation and the Rockers from years past. This feud between DIY and Motor City Machine Guns could probably go all year long and still be good. And seeing right now that there's only 4 matches on the card, they're gonna give them plenty of time. You give these 4 guys plenty of time, this might be the best tag team match we've seen in the WWE in a very, very, very long
Is it
time.
only those two matches in the Rumbles?
That's what it's
Yes.
showing.
There's no women's match
Nope.
for either of the 4 titles.
Nope.
Unless
Well,
something
the
gets
Smack or the United States women's match is scheduled for Friday on SmackDown between Meechin and Chelsea Green. And Lyra doesn't have a match set or anything. And seeing as Shinsuke is in the Rumble, there won't be a U.S. title match. And Braun Breaker hasn't announced that he'll be in the Rumble yet, but I would imagine he's going to be in the Rumble as well, which is not uncommon. I mean, it's not the old way of the Royal Rumble pay-per-views always were that the mid-card champions were usually in the Rumble. And then usually, ironically, the 2 out of 3 falls tag match kind of goes hand in hand with this one. It was always only like a 3-card match, 4-card match, and then the Royal Rumble. So with 2 Royal Rumbles and these 2 matches, you might get one more match thrown in there somewhere, but I highly doubt it. But it doesn't need it either. The Rumbles are going to be an hour apiece, and you give me an hour, or you give me a half hour or 45 minutes of Cody and Kevin, and you give me a good 25 minutes or 30 minutes of Target or DIY and Machine Guns, and I'll be ready to go home and smoke a cigarette and have a good day.
So let's start with the women's Royal Rumble. Who-
So far, I have the list here. So far, there are 7 of 30 entrants announced as of the 26th. Nia Jax announced on Raw, Bailey announced on Raw, and then Bianca, Naomi, and Charlotte were announced on SmackDown this past week, and so were Liv and Raquel announced this week. So 7 of the 30 entrants have been named for the Women's Rumble.
Who's your winner and who's a long shot?
Charlotte wins for me.
Yeah, I can't go against my queen when it comes to the Rumble.
Yeah, I think it's Charlotte, but who you guys have a possible long shot that could win? Because if she debuts during the Rumble, I think she's got a really good shot at winning it.
Jordan Grace?
If she shows up in that Rumble, I think she's going to be one of the last couple.
I
I
don't
mean,
doubt
it wouldn't
she'll
be your
one of
first Rumble, but yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that she would be she'd be one of the final ones if she enters the Rumble because she's not a TNA superstar anymore in the Rumble. She is the word is she's officially signing with the WWE, whether it's NXT or actually main roster. I know we watched the TNA pay-per-view there last weekend or whatever, and they gave her cake in the old Knockouts title, which signed by all the ladies.
I'll give
And the
you.
locker room was a nice touch.
Do you think we
I
see
don't see her
Tessa?
winning the Rumble as soon as she returns.
I think we see Jade return. I feel like she'll be there at the end.
Jade's return could be possible. Jade's return could lead to figuring out who's the one that threw her through the car windshield.
It was Naomi.
That's what they think they want you to think. I think you're gonna find out it was Bianca.
So what about the men's?
Dude, I didn't give you my long shot.
Fine, take your long shot.
I don't have one.
You mother. All right, who do
Wow.
we have as the men's winner?
We trolled you
All
on
right,
that one.
Hold on a minute. 10 of the 30 entrants for the men's rumble have been announced. L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
I don't know if he doesn't win this rumble, I'm pretty sure he loses his credibility. John Cena. CM Punk, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Did you
have
say
all-
CM Punk?
Yes.
Yeah, he said CM Punk.
I think your final two are Cena and Punk.
I think Punk's winning.
I think Cena's winning.
I think Punk is winning, and that's why they're promoting Cena so hard for an Elimination Chamber.
I hope Hulk Hogan shows up and throws him out.
Ryan?
I mean, the rumors going around, of course, are Cena versus Cody.
Gunther. I thought it was Gunther.
Has been one of the ones thrown around. Cena versus Gunther has been thrown around.
If you Googled WrestleMania 41, it says John Cena versus Gunther. Granted, that's like got to be AI created Google, but
I mean, whether who wins the Rumble or not, it's gonna be a star-studded Royal Rumble. It's almost equivalent to, what was it? We just watched it a couple weeks ago there, AJ, where it was like Brock and Goldberg and Taker and Roman and all of those guys were in the Rumble at the same time. The one with the really, really long runway.
They all have that now.
Yeah, but the one where they were golf carting them back.
Oh,
Was that Houston?
yeah. Yeah, it was the Astrodome. Not the
Yeah.
Astrodome. No,
Reliance Stadium.
yeah. 2018? No. Big Show was
It was after COVID,
Oh, it was after?
I think.
I don't think so.
was it the one that
Keep talking. Do you remember who won it?
I mean, we're talking the last 3-4 years? So Cody.
It would have been the Rumble to build the Roman and Taker at
2017.
WrestleMania.
2017.
Was it really 2017?
That's not after COVID.
That was 8 years ago?
Yeah, 2017.
Was Roman and Taker at WrestleMania?
Where Taker left his hat in the ring?
Yeah, that was only
Yeah.
like 4 years ago.
No,
That
it
was
wasn't.
more than 4 years ago, dog. Roman wasn't champion when that
Yeah,
match happened.
It was 2017 Undertaker Roman Reigns in a no holds barred match. WrestleMania 33.
Wow.
7 years.
Soon to be 8. So
Oh, it would be.
Ryan,
I'll be damned.
who's your pick to win and who's the long shot?
I'll go with the long shot and give you LA Knight. I'll give you that long shot. Winning the Rumble, the guy who's in the ring last. Because, I mean, some guy there runs around here claiming to be some kind of quote unquote boss that can do what he wants, when he wants, how he wants, and where he wants. Who says the Royal Rumble is going to be 30 guys? Could be 30 and a great one.
If you smell.
So he's not going to be one of the 30. He's going to be 31.
What if you were the boss and you can make up the rules as you went along?
Dude, I
Wouldn't
remember
you
a
like
couple
to-
weeks ago you were telling me there was 40 people in this Rumble.
That was
Well, that's
that-
next year.
No, there was a lot of people that reported that, and then magically that post went away. Where they were gonna put 40 in each, and then like literally
I
within
thought that
like
was
an
for Saudi.
within like an 8-hour window, that whole thing went away.
I mean, that would have
Uh,
made more sense last year. 40 guys for a chance to go to WrestleMania 40.
I think 40 is kind of overkill. Even
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we all remember the greatest Royal Rumble.
Well, no,
Most-
that
they
was
did
50.
it in 2013 too with
Alberto Del Rio won, and nobody cared.
Nope.
I mean, the only thing I remember from the greatest Royal Rumble is that fucking Titus O'Neil slid under the ring.
So that's our preview.
I remember Bryan Danielson's chest looking like hamburger meat when it was all over with either, because he was in the ring for like an hour and 13 minutes and took chops from everybody.
Hamburger meat. All right, so that was our preview of this weekend's Royal Rumble. Earlier, we did Saturday night's main event, that review. But as you guys, if you watched last week's episode, we are setting up a little GM mode game where we drafted our rosters. Go back, check that out. It was a lot of fun. Kind of a long one once we got into the nit and gritty bits of it. But now each of us is giving 10 male, 10 female, and throughout the week I will record what happens, and then we will watch it and talk about it.
Oh, we're not going to watch it live?
No, I'm gonna pre-record it. That way it's less a strain on the computer.
So you're going to know what happens? That's not fair.
Yeah, it is. It's perfectly fine. All right. So
Could have happened and record, and then have like Jess be the one that closes it out, so that he doesn't know what the final was.
I don't want him to know who the final 5 are, let alone the final.
like I'm gonna remember anyway.
Can make James come over and do it all so that it's saved on his computer until he hits play, and then he doesn't know what it is. I like
No,
that idea.
I like that we were live reacting to it. I was going to get popcorn.
Well, I mean, we're gonna live react to it because we haven't seen it.
I mean, I'm literally going to start it and walk away.
Well, yeah, but won't it still at the end be like, this guy won? I don't know how the game works.
It will, but then I'm gonna have to stop it anyway, prop it, and then set it, get it ready for when we do it. Don't worry about it. Who would like to give the 10 female first?
TJ can.
Okay.
My first entrant would be Sonya Deville. And mind you, obviously, for people at home, these are just who I'm putting in. It's going to be all random and yeah. I've got Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark following her. Raquel, Jade. Are we putting her in as her WWE name or her
I got her as Athena.
Athena, not Ember Moon? Okay, I wasn't sure. Ivy Nile, Alexa Bliss, Bailey, and Liv Morgan.
Not a bad,
AJ?
not a bad group of women. For myself, I have Britt Baker, Jordan Grace, Julia, Becky Lynch, Toni Storm, Deonna DePrazzo, Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, Michin, and Lyra Valkyria.
If you haven't seen lately, Tony Storm went back to being timeless.
Oh, did she?
Again?
Boo.
Did she?
I mean, the story was kind of interesting. I did catch that clip. It was kind of funny. You'll have to go back. You'll have to go look at it. It was actually pretty entertaining.
She's so good.
I just hate the way she talks is the timeless one.
Something must have happened because I thought that part of her was done.
My 10 are number 1, Camille. Number 2, Chris Statliner. Sol Ruka. Saraya. Paige. Stephanie Valkyr. Chelsea Green. Zarya. Tessa Blanchard. My queen, Charlotte Flair. And my bedtime nightmare, Rhea Ripley.
Why is it a nightmare?
Because I just want to keep reliving it.
You'd be the person who's like, hurt me, mommy. All right. Turn it around, Ryan. Give us your men.
Ew. Thank you, my man. Okay. Number 1 on my list and number 1 in your hearts, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Matt Cardona, Will Ospreay, CM Punk. Let me check these off as I'm doing them.
What was that last one?
Said he was checking them off as he's doing them.
Drew McIntyre, Kenny Omega, Okada, Karrion Kross, John Moxley. My final entry into the Royal Rumble, Moose.
Ooh. My 10 male are Roman Reigns,
Boo.
Brock Lesnar,
Boo.
MJF,
Boo.
Randy Orton. Okay. AJ Styles, John Cena, Adam Cole, Edge, Braun Strowman, and Christian Cage.
You sure you got Braun? You sure you want Braun Strowman in there? I mean,
trying to build up that credibility.
Sounds like you only got 9 guys and one guy that lost a lot of credibility.
TJ, who are your 10 male?
We're going to start small and grow. We've got Joe Hendry.
That's what you tell women, too.
We got Joe Hendry. We got Dominic.
Wait, time out. Since we haven't been on since the middle of last month and it's a brand new year, congratulations to Joe Hendry, the brand new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. So, congratulations on his win against Nick Namath. It was a great match.
If you pressed it, I have it muted, so nobody heard it.
You are always hitting those buttons on us, and of course, the time we try to use it, you've got it muted.
There's a reason why I have it muted, so I don't forget to mute it.
I am sorry, but this isn't your.
Well, hell with it then.
Wednesday.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
It's not Henry. It's Hendry.
I said Hendry.
You said Henry. And by the way, we're not.
I have it wrote down with a D.
By the way, we're not your Tuesday, Wednesday broadcast. You can unmute the soundboard.
Is that a AJ go bleep in unmute it?
I mean, shots fired. I don't care.
Oh, hey, look, Taylor Swift.
See, now you got me screwed up because I hit the button too early. By the way, who's your prediction on winning the women's Rumble from our Rumble?
Out of all of ours?
Yeah.
I don't know how this works. I can't. I got nothing.
I mean, if it's not.
This is my brutality!
You're missing the ball. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'd be okay if it was like Britt.
I know the one, the fat one from the northern border doesn't want to win the Rumble, so.
I wouldn't say that. I'm okay. I mean, full disclosure, y'all play the games. I don't. I don't know how this crap works. I don't know if like you put it in a certain spot and that one gets a bunch of eliminations. Like, is it all
No.
random?
We're not.
Completely random.
Yeah,
And it's never the same
I'm
as you
inputting
play
it. I'm inputting it,
and you're
making it all random, and just
the game's playing it.
Right, but I mean, like, I don't know. Like, there's. I know they have stats in the game. Do they take into account their stats for who the wrestler is? So, like, say, Maxine Dupree could easily be tossed because she's Maxine Dupree. Or does it like everybody's 100 across the board and whatever happens happens?
Well, wouldn't Maxine Dupree get tossed because she's not that
I
hard
know
to...
that. I'm just saying, like, I don't.
I
the
mean, that
ratings
plays a
still
little bit of
matter.
factor, but the
Okay,
ratings,
so the rate, right?
everybody's ratings are. There's nobody that's 99s or hundreds.
They had Matt
Even the
Cardona
creative.
as one, but I dropped him down to like a
Yeah.
91.
There was nobody. Everybody's where their original stats are, or where people are fairly put.
That's all I was saying. Like, I just don't know how this stuff works. I don't know. Like, I'm not. I'm saying I probably can't accurately predict who would win. I don't know.
It was just a blind
I mean,
prediction of who was going to
if
win it.
if I can't pick any of my,
We are so
female
far gone
wrestlers-
from my list though that it's not funny. I got Joe Hendry.
I don't have anybody to worry about going back to play with.
I'm saying we were announcing our list. I've named one guy of my 10.
Works for me. 21-man Royal Rumble.
Would you like to know?
Yes.
Dominic Mysterio,
Boo.
Logan Paul,
Booer.
Ludwig Kaiser, Solo Sikoa,
Boo.
Kevin Owens,
What do you have? A heel Rumble? Jesus Christ. Is there
Damian
a face there?
Priest,
Finally.
Seth freaking Rollins,
Yeah.
and the 10th member of my squad going in, L.A. Knight. Yeah!
But we have the soundboard. We don't
I
need
don't
you to do
care.
it.
I don't care.
You're not.
You want to hit it? Hit it.
No, I'm not hitting it now.
Good. I didn't
I'm
want
gonna
you
hit-
to.
I'm
Mama
gonna
I
and Dad
wanted
are
to hit it. I
fighting
would hit
again.
Wait.
it.
I'm gonna hit this one again.
Solo sucks.
Thank you, Joe. That's Topanga
like-
letting you know the solo sucks.
That was Topanga.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can
But
I make her? Can I make her a creative person and sign her to my roster just so I can say?
you know,
Topanga.
that section of our draft, we could have taken anybody. I really, really wish I had rethought it in the moment. Because I so would have loved to have had our 45th and 47th president be my GM coming out of the Hall of Fame. You could have had Topanga be your GM.
I'm gonna have Topanga be a lot of things, but GM ain't the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, brother.
So this is how it's gonna work. What this is the Royal Rumble pay-per-view for us. There's no other matches on it but the 2 Royal Rumbles. It's setting the stage for the rest of our show. So pay attention to your show, pay attention to your people in the Royal Rumble. You could possibly start creating things off of what happens in the Royal Rumble. You're not creating full storylines, you're creating matches with results with a little bit of a story to them. So we don't need a 6-chapter freaking story of your show when we start. You're just looking at building your matches and moving on.
But yeah, next Sunday for our show, we'll have both Rumble matches here. We'll react to them live and crown the first ever Wrestling with Nerds Royal Rumble winners.
Plus, we will recap the real WWE Royal Rumble that takes
too.
place the day before, live from what part of Indiana, AJ?
Indianapolis.
You sure?
Yes.
There's
Is that
not
near a certain speedway?
AJ, what's my famous line?
I hate you.
If I wasn't making fun of you, it means I don't love you.
I hate you.
It's gonna be fun. I think.
I hope so.
Football season ended for me about 4 hours ago. I could care less what's going on now. Moving on to the off
29
season.
22 Chiefs.
Next NASCAR starts in 2 weeks.
No, it starts next week.
The Clash don't count. Nobody gives a shit about
Yeah,
that
but
thing.
they're going to Bowman Gray.
Oh,
Hopefully,
yeah,
people
great.
get out of their cars and beat the crap out of each other.
I
It's
doubt
just
it.
the big version of the Rose of the
It's
LA
it's
Coliseum.
smaller.
It's smaller. There.
It's the same size track.
It's smaller.
It's tighter.
That's what she said.
Good for her.
Not yours. Even that couldn't fit through that without touching the edges.
Braun Strowman would have credibility with that.
Anyhow, was there any exciting wrestling news that we haven't touched base on since we took our break and now we're back that you guys want to come on? How about Edge's new name?
Cope?
Can you cope with it?
No.
I think I
Me
like
neither.
Perimeter better, and it was never even real.
You had me going for a while that it was real.
AEW's now on Max. If you want to go back and watch the train wreck that's been.
Did they cancel one of their weekly shows?
Yes. The Rampage got canceled. I
Was that
think that's the
Tuesday,
one.
Wednesday, or Thursday, or
No,
Friday?
I think it's their Saturday one or Friday. I don't remember. But if you want to go back and watch that train wreck, you can. I've tried watching it again. There's a few things that I'm interested that they're doing. I kind of been liking this whole Death Riders and Edge and FTR thing only because it's the actual only group of people on that show that can wrestle and tell a story, because they're mostly all WWE guys. I love how MJF was the biggest thing since sliced bread all year last year, and now he's feuding with Jeff fucking Jarrett. And sorry I said it, but I said it. When you're feuding with Jeff Jarrett, you're no longer the top guy
JEF!
anymore. So,
I'm done. I'm done.
And then I also kind of thought it was funny how like WWE can't make money off of Owen Hart because Martha won't let him. But MJF can make the comments to Jeff Jarrett that he's only still in the business because of his dead friend. Bad taste, maybe a little bit there.
I wonder if MJF is regretting signing that long-term deal.
I mean, he's not regretting the money, but I mean, he's got to be.
Think he's got the
feeling like
tattoo removed yet?
He's got to be just spinning his wheel. Feel like he's spinning his wheels. Aleister Black is now a free agent again. Apparently, the deal with the WWE will be signed as soon as he's eligible.
Oh, so
He
he's
will.
got a 90-day.
He will not be at the Royal Rumble. From all the reports that I've seen, is he will
That's
not
a quick
be.
90 days.
Will be saying. I don't think it's a 90-day deal when your contract runs out. If you're released, I believe it's a 90-day hold, but I don't know if that same thing holds true to.
Well, each
your
company's
contract
different
running out.
because you got to remember, John Moxley went from WWE to not even 2 weeks later to All In.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember when Baron Corbin was released from WWE.
Yeah, but wasn't All In not technically AEW?
That was an AEW pay-per-view. The
Was it?
original
All
the
In.
original All In was not an AEW pay-per-view. It's
It
actually
was
a
the
Ring of Honor.
self-funded.
It was actually produced by Ring of Honor before it got sold to AEW. But like I'm curious to see how that works. Not to mention, and I'm just putting it out there for the AEW lovers that are out there. You guys claim to be that WWE was monsters for holding people hostage in their contracts and make them set a catering, and collect a paycheck.
I know where you're
But
going with
yet,
this.
but yet AEW has been recorded at least 5 superstars have asked for their release, all of which have been denied, but none of them are on TV. So, who's the slave trader now? Is it Tony Khan? because he's not letting these guys out of their contracts to go work.
I mean,
Granted,
there's a
he's
certain
paying 'em,
special one that wants to be
but
in WWE because of Pentagon now.
yeah, there's evidently it's Ricky Starks, Penta's brother, Ray Phoenix, Miro, Warlow asked for his release, and I think I saw the list where there was like 2 more on there that had asked for their release. That Tony Khan's not granting them their release, and they're not on television. So, is he better than Vince, or is he just the same as Vince? I think people are starting to figure out that he's just as bad as Vince. Just he has bigger pockets to pay off his uh, DNRs or whatever they're called.
Billionaire Ted 2.0.
I mean, I don't get it. He's all about the wrestlers wrestling and having him getting paid, but he won't let them wrestle, but he's paying them. So he's
Yeah,
no different than Vince.
as I say, sounds like Ted too.
Not to mention, also, I don't know if you guys caught wind, but AEW gets WWE talent, but everybody says that they're not WWE talents because they wrestled somewhere else first. Their new WW or their new AEW, I should say WWE Tag Team Champions, but it is AEW Tag Team Champions are Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin.
Hmm.
Remember when AEW said they weren't gonna just sign anybody that leaves the WWE?
Last I checked, Bobby Lashley started in the WWE, then went to TNA, then came back to WWE, makes him a WWE guy. Shelton Benjamin started in development at OVW with Brock Lesnar, then came to WWE, then went to New Japan, then went to TNA, then back to WWE, makes him a WWE guy. So they made 2 WWE guys their AEW tag champs with the WWE gimmick that is the Hurt Syndicate.
Hey Ryan, who was
What?
the first ever AEW World Champion?
I think his name was Chris Jericho.
Who is
I
he?
think.
I think he was a WWE guy.
I mean, he's really a WCW guy. I mean, he was a New Japan guy first. He was a Mexico guy first, but wasn't seen on TV till he showed up on ECW television. Then he went to WCW, which was then bought by WWE, which then makes him a WWE guy. Then he became a WWE or AEW guy. So
Wait, that guy wrestles? I thought he was just a lead singer of Fozzy.
I bet he wishes he was more like Fozzie the Bear from the Muppets and would go to bed.
Waka waka.
It's just he's the Ring of Honor champion now, and it's miserable. So interesting.
Yeah.
I think you just made the list.
By the way, breaking news out of the TNA my GM mode thing. Due to an injury, John Moxley will not be in the Royal Rumble. Taking his place in the Royal Rumble is going to be Dustin Rhodes.
Wow, that just happened.
What made you do the switch?
He got hurt, AJ.
Yeah, the Sons of Texas took out the leader of the Death Riders.
He was on TV for 30 seconds and started bleeding.
Oh, there goes his credibility.
I don't know about that, but
I believe in a Bloody Mary.
Good.
Anyhow,
Don't say that in front of a mirror 5 times with the lights off.
dude, the lights off. I'm scared of the dark. The light's always on.
We got
I don't
everything.
go in the basement unless the lights are fucking on and it's daylight. What do you mean?
AJ, how did your Rangers do today?
They lost.
How are they doing for the season?
Better.
Better than what?
They're 2 points out of a wild card now when they were bottom of the barrel in the Metropolitan.
See, and you were ready to clear out the parking lot, bring in the bulldozers.
Well, they just went on a
turn this
10-game
place into a
point
parking
streak.
lot.
They just went on a 10-game point streak, and then they lost today. It was 4-4 with 17.3 to go, and they score a freaking goal.
Oh.
Freaking
Are
Avalanche.
we allowed to talk sports on this? Never mind, we're not on that.
I think we
same
can do
channel, I
whatever
don't
the
care.
heck we want.
But just so everybody knows, AJ is our friend that is like Dennis Quaid from Major League 2. as soon as his team loses more than 2 or 3 games, he's ready for the bulldozers to be brought in.
They lost 16 out of 21.
he's ready for the bulldozer
Okay,
to be
but now
brought
they've
in
won
and,
8.
and turning this place into a parking lot. That's AJ for us. But we
16
love
out
him.
of 21, and now they're 24 and 21. What are you complaining?
No. They've lost 16 out of 21. They were
Okay,
like-
they're,
Oh,
they're,
wow.
they were
they're
like-
still 24, 21
think-
and 4.
Here's the most important question I have for you. Are you ready?
They're not as
Does
good
a-
as your Capitals. I
Does
know.
Ovechkin get 20 goals before the end of the season?
That's
Man,
tough. I think he gets
okay,
like 8.
but
I think he gets 18.
even if he doesn't, you think he's not going to play next year?
Oh, he's definitely playing next year, but
He's going to play till he gets the record regardless.
All right.
postseason goals don't count.
I mean,
correct?
that guy came back in like a month after a broken leg.
All right, let's
Doping they're doing in Russia,
Yeah.
but dang.
Let's end this note on a wrestling note. Kurt Angle won the Olympics on a broken freaking neck.
Bye everybody.
Yeet, even though it means Jack now.